Welcome back, friends. So we are in the class 3 of what we are studying, origin of quantum mechanics, and we are on the topic particle aspect of radiation. Okay, this is the historical how we transport from classical mechanics to quantum mechanics. So we are discussing about how the rigid concepts of classical mechanics failed in explaining number of microscopic phenomena. Na? So we were trying to explain what this in different concept. Okay. Uh, Suppose a particle aspect of radiation, which are our main topic. This is okay. So previous class as about what is about blackbody radiation. We study about blackbody radiation. Okay. Uh, and we saw that the energy radiated by a black body show continuous distribution. Na? We show this like a distribution. This actually this is this. I have this. This is our black body radiation, the spectrum, continuous spectrum. Okay. And we discuss about it little bit, and then we will go forward. Okay? So a number of attempts aimed at explaining the origin of the continuous character of this radiation, okay, were carried out. The most serious among was which was made classical physics, use of classical physics actually. And who did this? Were due to William Wynne in 1889 and Rayleigh in 1900. In 1879, Stephen experimentally found that the total intensity, we saw this in our previous class, no? That total intensity or total power per unit surface area radiated by a glowing object, actually this is for blackbody radiation, by glowing object of temperature T given by this, no? And this is known as Stephen Boltzmann law, no? And what was our sigma? Sigma was our 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt meter to the power minus 2 Kelvin to the power minus 4. This is Stephen Boltzmann constant. Okay. And A is what? A is a coefficient which is less than equals to 1. For black body, A was equals to 1. Na? We saw that in our previous class also. Okay. And A equals to 1 for black body. Now, come to next. Wynne's energy density distribution. Using thermodynamic argument, this is some of our main points. Okay. How to come in quantum mechanics arena from classical mechanics, we must understood how some experiments goes through in which process. So Wynne's energy density distribution was based on thermodynamics arguments. Wynne took the Stephen Boltzmann law in 1894. He extended it to obtain the energy density per unit frequency of the emitted blackbody radiation was this. Using thermodynamic argument, Wynne found this experimentally. Okay. So our main focus will be on physics inside it, where A and beta in this equation, A and beta are empirically defined parameters. They can be adjusted to fit the experimental data. U has the dimension of an energy per unit volume per unit frequency. So the what will be unit of U? Energy per unit volume per unit frequency, na? Hertz inverse joule meter to the power minus 3. Although Wynne's formula fits the high frequency data remarkably well, it fails badly at low frequencies. Okay, so suppose this will be our try to plot on a graph. Okay, so suppose this is our frequency nu. Okay, and this is our u, energy density. Okay, so if we draw this, we will get like this like a curve. Okay, we will discuss the curve in later broadly, but actually our main point is what I am telling to say. This is our main point. Wien's formula fit the high frequency data, but it fails at low frequencies. Actually, the curve, the continuous spectra which we got in the blackboard radiation, now, so obviously Wiens try to explain that, but Wiens gives this formula experimentally or otherwise. Wiens gives this formula, but this formula actually fit for high frequency data. Okay, so for the black body radiation or energy radiated by a black body or okay, so but it fails at low frequencies, so it is a half success. Win does not fully succeed. Okay, so then comes, so this is our main point, please note it. Then comes Rayleigh energy density distribution. Now, what Rayleigh did? Rayleigh focused on understanding the nature of electromagnetic radiation inside the cavity. We read about the cavity. Suppose this. If there will be a small hole, from there radiation will be penetrate in the cavity. Now, this type of picture we saw. Okay, so what Rayleigh considered? Rayleigh considered the radiation to consist of standing waves. This radiation which are reflecting. Okay, this radiation consists of standing wave having a temperature T. Suppose inside the black body temperature is T, and this radiation equivalent to standing waves. Okay, and where was the nodes of these standing waves? Nodes of these standing waves were at the walls, at metallic surface. Okay, this assumption was taken by Rayleigh. These standing waves are equivalent to harmonic oscillators. These waves, where the radiation he considered like these are waves here, and this equivalent to harmonic oscillators. Okay, for they result from harmonic oscillation. How these waves generated? From harmonic oscillators. Okay, large number of electrons. Here is very large number of electrons which were vibrating. Okay, which were at temperature T. Okay, so this for this vibration of these electrons which are inside the cavity walls, the standing waves created, and the nodes of the standing waves were at metallic surface. Okay, this was taken as assumption by Rayleigh. So then what he found? When the cavity is in thermal equilibrium, the electromagnetic energy density inside the cavity is equal to the energy density of the charged particle in the walls of the cavity. This must be so obvious. No, this must be so obvious. And the average total energy of the radiation leaving the cavity can be obtained by, how we can obtain the total average energy? By multiplying the average energy of oscillators by the number of modes or standing waves of the radiation in the frequency interval nu to nu plus du. And this will be what? So what we are going to find? We are going to find the average total energy of the radiation. Okay. So we came through the Blackbody radiation. We found a we are actually discussing the previous class. So we get a continuous spectra, and Winds, Rayleigh. These are those scientists who wanted to describe how the continuous spectra came. So Wien give up theory or formula, but he fails at low frequencies. Okay. Now came about Rayleigh. So Rayleigh assumes all this. Rayleigh assumes all this, and let's see what happened next. Okay. So the total we are going to find the average total energy of radiation. So suppose our n nu equals to 8 pi nu square by c cube. Now what will be this? Here c equals to 3 into 10 to the power 8, which is velocity of light, na? And this quantity 8 pi nu square c cube d nu. This actually we see this formula why in thermodynamics. Okay, and we will discuss in detail. We actually now discussing we are mainly focus is about to go into the quantum mechanics arena. Okay, this gives the number of modes of oscillation per unit volume in the frequency interval nu to nu plus d nu. Okay, so this is our formula actually. The average total energy, to find out the average total energy. So what do we have to do? Can be obtained by multiplying the average energy of the oscillators by the number of modes of the radiation in the frequency interval. Okay, so our u nu at temperature T, function of nu and T, this is our energy. So multiply it by average energy per oscillation. Okay, so what is our E? Average is average energy of the oscillator present on the walls of the cavity. Okay, now we must calculate the average energy E. No? So actually we calculated in this thermodynamics, and till now we don't started the class of thermodynamics, but if you already done, you can find it in thermodynamics chapters. So our main focus with this is a class of quantum mechanics, so we will not go into detailed calculation of that. Okay, but some notes you can may take. So from thermodynamics actually, this average energy we get like this: E to the power minus E by kT d by this e to the power minus e by kt d. This gives actually kt, but you will say how? Actually, you may take, actually we used in on beta na, a and beta, where this actually in the same formula the physics was same. If you will consider beta as 1 by kt, you will be minus del by del beta ln to the power minus beta e d. This equation will be convenient to you. You know this type of equation in thermodynamics, na? So from this actually our average energy comes del by del beta ln 1 by beta. This is 1 by beta kt, which was kt. Okay. So from this actually we get this average energy. Okay. So here, so our average energy is our kt, where k is what? K is 1.3807 into 10 to the power minus 23, which was got experimentally. Joule Kelvin inverse is the Boltzmann constant. Boltzmann constant. Okay. So our total energy was U nu T, which was this na, N multiplied by average energy. What is our N? And what is our N function of nu? Gives the number of modes of oscillation per unit volume in the frequency range nu to nu plus d nu. Okay. So from this actually we will put the value of N and E. Equals to 8 pi nu square by c cube kt. Okay. Now this we got. Actually, except for low frequencies, nu low. Okay. This law actually completely totally disagree with experimental data. Only it is valid for low frequency. Okay. Actually, this u, if we plot, we will see the plot also. Actually, let's see first. Actually, we saw this was Wien's law, in Wien's law. Okay. Actually, now here the main problem. You will see. Please plot it fast. Now this is a difficult task. Experimental data. We must take experimental data, na. Then we plot it. And otherwise, you can use any graphical software or something to plot it. Okay. So in Wien's law, we see this type of plots. Okay. And in Rayleigh, what Rayleigh found this, and for very low frequency, this is complete agree. This equation agree, but for high frequencies, this is fully disagree with experimental data. Okay. And what we can see, for high frequency, it diverges, na? Whereas experimentally it must be finite. So if we integrate this equation, okay, if we integrate this equation, The integral also diverges. We can see it for whole frequency. If we integrate that for whole frequency range, it diverges. Okay. What this implies? This implies that the cavity contains an infinite amount of energy. But is this result true? No. So, actually, this was called ultra violet catastrophe. For this range, frequency is high, and we don't get any fruitful experimental or analytical results for high frequencies, and this vanishes. This equation or Rayleigh's formula vanishes. It diverges. Okay, so we don't get any kind of other information for this from this equation. If we integrate this equation for whole frequency range, it diverges. This is known as ultraviolet catastrophe. Okay. Now, actually, why this failed? Actually, we use the classical arena, classical thermodynamics, to derive all these formulas, because how we derive this energy, how we derive this average energy, this was a classical arena. How we derive this energy? Okay, মানে what we took actually the energy exchange between radiation and matter is continuous. This was taken by us as assumption. Actually, this is a classical arena. Okay, and this is the main root cause for this ultraviolet catastrophe. That's why we didn't get any fruitful outcome from this equation in high frequency range. Okay, now here comes our Planck's energy distribution. Now, what Planck energy distribution is? So, Planck actually succeeded in 1900. Okay, to avoid this was the here was ultraviolet catastrophe. So Planck actually solved this for the case of blackbody radiation. Actually, we are in the main focus of blackbody radiation, and how we come to our quantum mechanics arena. This is our main focus. So, in sharp contrast to Rayleigh's assumption that a standing wave can exchange any amount of energy. This was taken by Rayleigh for the black body, for the cavity. Okay, and we saw why this ultraviolet catastrophe appears here, because of classical type of assumptions that energy exchange is continuous. So here Planck said that standing wave can exchange any amount of continuous energy with matter. This was assumed by Rayleigh, but here is our main focus. Planck considered that the energy exchange between radiation and matter must be discrete. This is the main point. This brings the quantum arena. Energy exchange between radiation and matter must be discrete. Okay. Now see what happened next. What is the theoretical formula here? What is the experimental formula in Planck energy distribution? He then postulates that the energy of radiation of frequency nu emitted by the oscillating charges. Same concept, this same concept, but only different is Planck said this energy which was for emitted energy, or which was for this oscillating electrons or radiation energy exchange, is in discrete, must be in discrete, not continuous. This is the main difference in assumptions. Okay, oscillating charges must come only in integer multiple of h nu, means E energy exchange, any energy exchange will be in n h nu in this manner, discrete multiple of h nu. N equals to what? 0, 1, 2. Okay, this is our main, what I say, point, where our h is a universal constant, no? H equals to constant. We will see what this constant is, and h nu is a energy quantum. This term comes here, quantum, and discrete energy quantum of radiation. And what is our nu? Obviously a new frequency. But which frequency? Nu is the frequency of the radiation emitted from the walls. Nu is the frequency of the oscillating charges in the cavity walls. Here we saw the oscillating charges in the cavity walls, as well as the frequency of the radiation emitted from the walls. This is will be so obvious. Okay, we saw this in same thing we saw. Nu is the frequency, T temperature, oscillating charges, emitted radiation. Same thing here, but it is in discrete manner. Only this is difference. I am saying again and again that because the frequency of the radiation emitted by an oscillating charged particle is equal to the frequency of oscillating particle itself, isn't it? I am saying again that nu represent the frequency of the oscillating charges. Here is our oscillating charges in the cavity walls, as well as the frequency of the radiation emitted from the walls. Now h nu is not same for all oscillators because it depends on the frequency of each oscillator, no? But what Wiens consider, it is same for all oscillators in continuous spectra. Classical mechanics actually, however, put no restriction whatsoever on frequency, and hence on the energy an oscillator can have. So in classical, any amount of energy can a oscillator have. This was assumed, but in this arena means Planck, not any discrete amount of energy must be needed. Okay, so the energy of oscillators such as like pendulums, mass spring system, and electric oscillator varies continuously in terms of frequency, na? So this E equals to nh nu. E equals to nh nu. This is what? This is our Planck's quantization rule or Planck postulates. Okay. So, assuming that the energy of an oscillator is quantized, we assume that Planck showed that the corrected thermodynamic relation for the average energy can be obtained. How can be obtained? This is our average energy. So, Planck said that this average energy can be obtained by replacing the, suppose, for calculating this average energy, we used continuous conception, and here we will use discrete conceptions. Okay, so for this we use summation n h nu e to the power minus n h nu by kt, summation of e to the power minus n h nu by kt. This comes again. We are our main focus is discussing the quantum arena, so detailed calculation will be not be here, it will be in thermodynamics class. Okay, and if you want to find that, how can you find? You can use one minus x and square. Okay, x to the power n, and where is our x? We will take, actually I summarized all this in my notebook, so okay, you can use this and you can go through the detailed calculation. Okay, now come next. So our average energy we got as h nu by to the power h nu by kt. Our main focus will be discussing the physical part. Okay, this is our average energy, and so the energy, what will be our energy density of the radiation? U nu t is, we multiplied it, our average energy by 8 pi nu square by c cube into our average energy, same e to the power h nu by kt. I am again reminding, okay, same procedure, all same things, but in different conception. Previously was that in continuous exchange of energy, and this is in discrete quantum of energy. So this is Planck's distribution. Planck's distribution. Actually, it's fit with this experimental data as well. This is our Planck's law, and this is, see, this is the continuous spectra which will we got experimentally in black body radiation. So it actually gives an exact fit to the various experimental data distribution. Okay, the now this is a this is expression with nu. If we want to convert the expression, suppose in lambda t form, what will be this? 8 pi hc by lambda to the power 5, 1 by e to the power hc by lambda kt minus 1. And what is our h? 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. We found that experimentally. Okay, Actually, we didn't found anything. We are just studying. Okay. Now, let's took a behavior of the Planck's law. Okay. Now, in the limit of both low range frequency and high range frequency, both Planck constant, Planck's law fit. Okay. Then try to establish its connection to the relation of Rayleigh-Jeans law and Stefan Boltzmann-Wind's law. Okay. So first we come. Actually, here for low frequency and for high frequency, we saw the Rayleigh-Jeans law fit for low frequency and Wind's law fit for high frequency, but Planck's law is fit for both frequencies. This is gives a spectral continuous spectral which will got experimentally. Okay, so how this comes from this equation, from this Planck's distribution equation, how this comes? So for low frequencies, number one case, for low frequency, our h nu very small than kt, so we can e to the power h nu by this form, h nu by kt, to the power h nu minus h nu by kt. Exponential we will see in exponential series, 1 plus h nu by kt, and if we put this here, okay, here, so here, so our u equals to this equation, 8 pi nu square by c cube, 8 pi nu square by c cube, and in this and here one plus h nu by kt minus 1 will be only cancelled. Okay, so this is a finite, this is a finite finite figure, so this equation fit in this low frequency region. Okay, now what will be for the whole spectral line, means for the whole frequency range? So case number 2, if we integrate for the whole spectral line, nu t d nu. Okay, so this will be look like this, by c cube nu cube h nu plus 1 d nu. Okay, h cube c cube, and what is our x? Our x will be h nu by kt. Okay, this is our x. Actually, again you do this integration, and we will get this will be our u for the whole spectral lines. Okay, and we know all this we know what is this. This is our Stefan Boltzmann law, we see in this Stefan Boltzmann law. So our main focus was that Planck considered the energy energy exchange will be in discrete manner, and we saw that this equation fit both in low energy and low energy no, fit in low frequency and high frequency region, in both region. So and we can avoid, what we can avoid, the here the ultraviolet catastrophe avoided here. Okay, so make a summary, make a summary. See, the spectrum of the black body radiation reveals the quantization of radiation in the particle behavior of EM wave. This is our main focus, this was. Okay, the spectrum of the black body radiation reveals the quantization of radiation in the particle behavior of EM wave. This was assumed by our Planck, and we got the experimental, theoretical, all the equations fit with the black body curve, which was continuous curve. So we introduce the constant H, Planck constant. We saw this value, and this is the, we can see this is a gateway. Gateway for quantum mechanics. Okay. Later we will see the photoelectric effect, and you all theoretical theories of suppose Einstein, Compton, de Broglie, Bohr, all took these assumptions, and we will go in detail of our quantum mechanics arena. Okay, so thank you.